All right, team, what's going on? I'm Tim Jenkins, and welcome to All Things QB, where I watch every single clip and break down the most important ones. Today, we've got Bo Nix, Week 6, taking on the Chargers. So without further ado, let's jump into the film. All right, team, we are jumping into this thing. The first one we've got, unfortunately, is a tipped interception. So this one is just... It's one of those where you try to fire this in cut to Sutton, right? Or it's not Sutton on this one, but you try to fire this in cut and you're just, if you're high on that thing and that thing gets tipped, obviously we got a bunch of guys in there. I think the concept is a good concept, honestly. I think the concept's a great concept. We got a little cross here. You got your over route. You've got your in behind it. You read this thing 1 to 2. I think Bo does a good job getting through his progression. You're just high. You know, when you're high, then ball gets tipped up. Next thing you know, somebody makes a play on it. This is why when you're throwing the ball over the middle of the field, you have to be chin down, right? You've got to be from your receiver's chin down. You cannot miss high on this. You just can't. You see where this thing ends up being too tall. Too tall, ball gets tipped, guy makes a play on it. These throws over the middle of the field have to be from your receiver's chin down. They just have to be. You'd rather see these guys making sliding catches over the middle of the field than the opportunity for the ball to get tipped, right? That's just one of those things. Young quarterback learns, moves on. I think from a mechanic standpoint, I think our shoulders could use some work here. I think at time he gets almost, if we were looking at him, instead of being flat with his shoulders, I think at times his front shoulder gets a little bit higher, which then will force this thing to sail. And especially if you get off that back foot early, right, without really turning that hip all the way through, he'll take off high on you. Just not the one they were looking for to start. Okay? Now we've got, this one's so hard, man. So we got 3rd and 6, right? You got 3rd and 6, turns into a scramble throwaway. Third and 6, what they're trying to do is they're trying to run. They paired mesh with Y cross, so they ran that same with the little crosser here, the little over with the in route, and then these guys are on mesh. I'm assuming you want to read this thing 1 to 2 to 3, or it's 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Either way, knowing that you've got cross behind it, I know this guy's in our progression, and I am not sure why Bo gets off this mesh. Because that's a great look right there. It's a great look, and I know some people are going to say, well, this guy, no, man, his eyes are on the back. He's matched on the back. Bo's sliding this thing in there. That's tough. You know, plus I think he bails on a relatively clean pocket. The thing is I don't mind, hey, if we were to look at this concept and everyone's covered up, I wouldn't mind bailing on the clean pocket, because it's not the clean pocket necessarily that you're bailing on, right? It's the, hey, I need to go create a play. I'm going to go create a play on 3rd down. I'm going to extend the play. I'm going to try to convert this thing. That's more what Bo's thinking. I don't think he's thinking, hey, I'm under duress, I have to bail. I think he's more thinking, hey, I need to create. The issue is I obviously think we had a look at one of our mesh runners, right? So that's one of those that you're going to want back when you watch it on tape. Because I think he's got his eyes on it, and it's just, give it one more second. Give it one more second for Javonte to pull this guy out of there. And then drive that thing in right off his back shoulder. Don't worry about him. Let the arm talent rip through there. And then, hey, you're just in create mode, and these guys are good athletes too. Okay, we got a little good here. We got a little third down scramble. This one I thought was what was going to spark this Broncos offense in the first half. I'm not going to lie. I thought this was one of those where it's like, you got third down. We're going to kind of get a little spark here from our quarterback getting out there making a play. Just wasn't it. The game flow for the Broncos was really just terrible. I mean, the Chargers just bled them on long drives. By the time this Broncos offense started rolling, it was already, basically over. It just was kind of an overall poor game. We'll talk about it at the very end. We'll talk about it in the wrap up, kind of just where I thought it went wrong. This one we've got a no grade. We've got the Mim shot. What is there to say? Okay, it's 3rd and 6. They decide, hey, we're gonna take a shot play here. We're gonna little half slide this thing, and we're gonna work this all the way across. We got a little stutter takeoff out here. Bo moves the safety with his eyes, gets the safety to jump over here. We've got it. You can say ball slightly underthrown, right? Moving it. Great job with his eyes. You see how he puts his eyes front side to that stutter and go, and that's what moves the safety. And then he gets back to it. It's one of those where it's like so many compounding factors. Okay, ball is like a yard underthrown. So then Mims gives his chest to it. DB gets his hand in there. Can Mims jump a little bit further back into the DB to make this look like PI? Sure. Could Mims slow down to where the guy's on his back and he's making this catch over his shoulder? Sure. Could Bo put the ball out 2 yards further? Sure. All these compounding effects result in an incompletion. So it's just like a lot there. Hard for me to say 100% on Bo. Hard for me to say 100% on Mims. You're just kind of left. You're left wanting more. You're left wanting for more. This is just a great dig route. This is the one that gets called back because of the hold. But I really like the ways the Broncos dress up Dagger or a variation of it in so many different ways. But this seems to be one of the better concepts for Nix right now. In reading that out, it seems to be one of the better concepts too when it comes for Cortland. I feel like Cortland, is really running the heck out of these dig routes right now. So it just kind of feels like one of those fallback call plays for the Broncos right now is, hey, let's get to Dagger. We need a chunk play. If we need a big play, let's get to Dagger. Let's see if these boys can do it. It seems like, man, they're rolling on Dagger. All right, so now we're already, what's crazy is it's like we're now already in the second half. It was really, sorry for the yawn, it was really awful game flow for the Broncos. I mean, honestly, up until the fourth quarter from an offensive perspective. We're in the third quarter right now, but we got a nice little scramble here from Bo. That just, I do think there's just, and I get it, man. With Broncos, it's been so long since we've had good quality quarterback play, right? So it's like there's this compounding effect in the fan base of like, it's been so long that, we're 6 games into it or whatever, and we just start really getting frustrated and taking it out on the quarterback when it's, a combination of factors, I think, in this game. There are games where it's like, man, you get a couple of breaks that don't go your way. The other team controls the football and it just gets away from you. I kind of find this game in more of that category than I do in like a catastrophic situation. I'm not going to lie. I kind of hate the point there. I like that Bo Nix is a competitor, but it's like pointing at the guy when you're down 20 and you really haven't done anything. I'm not the biggest fan. This is one of those that I gotta be honest, I don't know why, the Broncos were getting to Y cross again. The shallow backside or the shallow running into your vision. Man, I love the dig route here from a layer perspective. We'll get to the tight, but I'm not sure this has to be a scramble from Bo. This seems to me more like we're climbing into chaos. It feels more like we're climbing into chaos versus climbing, this one kind of got marked as no grade, might be more of a bad. Like that to me feels like clean enough, right? You're here, climb, anchor yourself. Let's keep evaluating that cross. Now, granted, does he go make a play? Yeah, he definitely does. But not, to me, what we really want to see. To me, it's more one hitch, anchor. These guys are, they're running them by. They're running the DNs by. One hitch, anchor. Let's fit that dig route in, Now it's like 14:05 left in the game. We're in the fourth quarter. It's funny. We had 7 clips in the first 3 quarters. Then we've got 8 clips in the fourth quarter, and it's like we're already in the fourth quarter. This is great. Backed up scramble. Really good job. Hey, if you take a sack there or if you throw it away there and it's intentional grounding, it's over. The game is completely over. It's already pretty close. But if you take one there, it's completely over. Scrambles, creates, gets to his receiver. Good job. Those are like the little ones that you can kind of feel, okay, hey, is the momentum, if the Broncos get a huge drive here and they score, can they, do you have 3 possessions left in the game is really the question. Obviously, we all know what happened, but it's like, these are the kind of plays that they're big plays because, hey, if you take a sack there, it's all of a sudden 25-0 and the game is actually over. All right, team, it is halftime. We are 8 clips into this thing. We've got 7 more clips to go. But if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a favor and like this video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, FTA this thing, which means comment for the algorithm. And then you football junkies like me, jump over to our Patreon account. The link is in the description. But we've got more clips and longer breakdowns over there. Plus, it's a really affordable way to support the growth of this channel. It means the world to me that you guys are willing to do that. That's all I've got for you guys for halftime. So you guys know the deal. Let's jump back into the film. All right, now we've got a little scramble big play. I think these are the ones too where it's like, I'd love to know the communication lapse on this guy coming free because Bo seems like he's taking a regular drop. There's not a single Bronco hot. So it's like, all right, something happened here to where it's like we turned our line that way. Our back bluffs. I just, yeah. We're not going to figure that one out on the tape right now because what I can tell you is it's like this line is a full turn here. We're like they're clearly not accounting for 3. No Broncos receiver is hot though or on a break off. It just that's one we're not going to know. And then but what I will tell you is the fact that we then scrambled and delivered that. I mean, a little bit better football. I don't know what happens here, right? You give him a little bit better ball. Is he able to cut across the field? We don't know. So you'd like to see a little bit better ball from Bo. Also, simultaneously, like, hey, you had a free runner and you were able to generate us a 30-yard play. It's probably, I probably don't need to be even harder on you, right? We turned a guy completely free. And then he generated a 30-yard play. Let's go ahead and just enjoy that aspect of it. What I'm trying to figure out here is he must have touched him right there or something because it almost looks to me like no one touches him and then it's a fumble. What I will say is I think he probably touched him. Unfortunately didn't have a chance to watch the game live, so I'm not sure. Here we got a little scramble flip. You gotta love this one. These are those. I'm gonna let it run. These are those creative plays. I want to get to the tight because I think the tight angle of this is just awesome. But these are those plays that you just love seeing. Look at this thing right here. Watch this. Boom, climb. That's a great job. Little creativity, little scramble flip. Just great stuff. Great stuff. Generates a big play. And then we got a touchdown here. Love this concept. Really love the concept here. I like when you get this in like a kind of nasty because you get a close and a stack. Love this. Get Sutton here. We got the back baseline. We got the mesh. It just, everything about it, I think, is great. And then Bo does a great job navigating and then delivering a touchdown, which at this point, if you're a Broncos fan, you're thinking to yourself, hey, okay, we all of a sudden it's 23-7, right? You start thinking, man, it's a 2-possession game. Do we have a shot? Offense looks like it's rolling a little bit. And then you hit this one, and to me, this is the point where I start thinking, okay, we got something, right? Because it's 23-7. All of a sudden, you're in plus territory. The offense finally looks coherent. Like this, I think, is a great job. I mean, we had the front side concept too. Here, you got the little clear takeoff. You got the sail with the backside in. Bo does a good job. Probably seeing 0+ to the concept side and then gets back to the in route. It's like he probably had the sail, though, on the sideline, too, if he wanted it. Look at his eyes. These are the throws, too, where it's like, a lot of people. I know everybody's hot and cold on Bo right now. That throw right there, though. Those are the ones that I think you got to be a little bit impressed with. Good football. What do we say? We'd rather see someone sliding over the middle than jumping, right? Pretty darn good right there. Pretty darn good right there. Then we got another in route. This on more that, not really a true in. This is more that cross concept. We've got him on like that little search route, that little cross, that over. Good job just taking it. If that first progression's there, give it to him. Boom. That thing's there. Flip that thing to him. Keep going, right? Love that one. Love that one. Love that one. Love that one. This one, This one was tough because this one is the one where it's like you got literally everything you want. In a time-sensitive situation, we have an outbreaking route. We've got our number one receiver. He's just literally on an Oklahoma. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Speed cut. Oh. Everything you could want from a play. This has to be the wrong footwork from Bo. There's no way they're tying that to a one skip hitch. This needs to be a clean 3 hitch. This needs to be 1, 2, 3 hitch ball. Instead, he's there early, which then you start as a quarterback. When you get there early, you start feeling like, oh, I got to get this out. I got to get this out. And then you throw it too early, you dirt it. There's no way that's the correct footwork. Or if it is the footwork they have paired with it on this concept, that's not. Or if they're like letting Bo pick, not good. And then if this is what they have paired to it, that's got to change. That's got to be a clean 3 hitch. That's got to be a rhythm 3 hitch. It can't be a one skip, sink, hold it, look ball. That's just not. That ain't it. That's what I've got for you guys. We've got the Sutton touchdown. Golly, man. That is such a good catch by a great receiver. We've got this little under. They're selling under. Little under pump. Runs the under. Bo gets the ball out of his hand early. Look when Bo's throwing this thing. Look where Sutton's at when he's throwing this thing. 1, 2, 3, pump. You get this thing out. Sutton's at the 6. Such a good catch. I mean, here's the thing. The Broncos fans, we're still into it. Right? We're still fired up. We're still fired up. We say, hey, there's a shot. And then they don't get the 2, and it's basically over. Pump, get the ball up and down. Look at this catch. This is just... Those are the things to appreciate at times. I love this. That's so great. That is great. So, what's actually happening in Denver, right? That was the title of the video, and that's what I want to get into. Do I think that Bo Nix played a great game? No. Do I think Sean Payton called a great game? No. Do I think the defense played well? No. Do I think the O-line played well? No. Do I think the receivers played well? No. I think that this is one of those, the game flow was funky. It got away from the Broncos. By no means am I ready to just throw in the garbage can the last 3 weeks and then be like, oh, they're screwed. I think let's give it some time, because I do think the game flow is just so weird that to me, it's like you can't really make a great evaluation of it. So to me, I think the game flow was so funky. I think the Chargers controlled the ball. To me, the bigger issue is the defense, right? Is Surtain ready to go? Because that's going to be a bigger thing. I think that, the Broncos right now have been playing complementary football built around their defense. If their defense starts struggling and giving up time of possession like they gave up there, they're not a competitive team at that point. They're not built around, hey, we're going to go drop 80. That's not, not anybody's dropping 80, but that's just not what they're doing. So to me, it's like the game flow is so weird. I don't think Bo played horrible, honestly. Looking at the tape, I don't think he played horrible. I don't think he played great. I just think he was out there. I think concept-wise, there were some misses, but for me, it was hard to like really find areas where on the tape I'm like, oh, this guy's wide open. We had the one bail. I don't know. Funky game all around. Just, I think there's areas to improve, but I want you guys to comment. You let me know what you thought. Until next time. Peace.